Hi everyone, Canoopsy here, and this is the Honor 9. It's Honor's latest and greatest phone, and a very similar overall concept to the OnePlus 5, meaning it offers a lot of phone for a pretty affordable price, and that's definitely the case here. This phone costs €429 for 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, and €449 for 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. And this converts to about $500 US. Now I said euros first, not US dollars first, because there's no guarantee this phone's going to even be coming to the US whatsoever. But besides that, this phone is really a great overall device. So let's see what makes it worth it, and some of the pros and cons. Okay, so first, the design. You've seen this phone in pictures, and they really do the phone justice, but seeing it in person is truly incredible. I had to go for the blue version because I knew it would look awesome. The back is glass, the sides are aluminum, and it feels incredible. The glass back is very different than many other glass-backed Android phones like the Galaxy S8, mainly because it refracts light in a very different way. In different environments, it reflects light in very unique ways, and pretty much always this phone just looks really good. One con to this beautiful design though is fingerprints, of course. You have to clean this phone a lot, and it will scratch over time for sure. Covering it up with the included case is definitely one option, but you lose the awesome reflections and style, and the case scratches and smudges very easily and can look pretty gross after a short period of time. So go naked, but just be careful. Also, this phone is not water resistant, which is kind of a negative. Now on the front, the 5-inch 1080p LCD display is actually really quite good. Colors are vibrant, bold, and super punchy. Sharpness and viewing angles are actually quite good too, but contrast and black levels can be a bit weak if I'm just nitpicking with this display. It'd be absolutely beautiful if it was AMOLED, but does the job quite well and still looks pretty good. Beneath the display, the fingerprint scanner is very fast and accurate. Not really a fan of the whole capacitive touch button style though, doesn't really feel like a real press at all, and I often hit it and the side buttons by accident, so I would have preferred on-screen keys for sure. And a big part of the deal with this phone is the specifications this phone packs for its relatively affordable price. The specifications are currently on screen right now, and with these specs, the performance is ridiculously good. Now, a lot of phones these days are fast, but using this one with 6GB of RAM, it's on a whole new level. You tap an app, it opens basically instantly, you can multitask with no trouble whatsoever, and gaming, no problems of course. I never thought that like 6GB of RAM would even be necessary on an Android phone, but the way this phone handles tasks, even compared to an iPhone or other flagship Android phones, this phone really kills them for speed. And besides that really gorgeous design, this phone's performance also really blew me away when I first got this phone. Now, powering this phone is a 3200 mAh battery, and it lasts easily a full day of usage, but not really too much more, and it also has fast charging with the charger in the box. Now, if you look at my phone's software, it is really gorgeous and almost too good to be true, and that's because it wasn't like this out of the box. It's heavily customized with Nova Launcher. And here's what it looked like before, basically a night and day difference. Now EMUI 5.1 is much better than past versions, but it just doesn't feel right to me, these really heavy versions of Android launchers. I went over this more in depth in my Huawei P10 review, card on screen right now, but I'm not really a fan of these really intensive, heavy launchers, so I put Nova Launcher on and haven't looked back. The minimal nature of the Pixel icon pack and Nova Launcher plus the design creates a really dreamy combination that I wish came directly out of the box. And the final thing I want to touch on is the camera experience. It's the same overall setup from the Huawei P10 with 20MP and 12MP sensors, one monochrome and one RGB. Those monochrome black and white photos are super classy and beautiful, and this phone really does a good job with those overall photos. Not everyone's gonna love this feature, but it's a really cool thing to have. But thankfully that monochrome mode isn't really all for these cameras. Just like on the P10, there are many useful modes to play around with, like an awesome wide aperture mode that really kills other phones that do this, and it just looks really natural and very DSLR-like, but not perfect. There's also a brand new 2x lossless zoom mode, which is great to have on this phone. I don't think it was actually on the P10, so it's great to have here, but unfortunately it doesn't work with a full 20MP resolution. It only works in the 12MP mode, but still, it's definitely a great feature to have. And here's some more stock RGB photos so you can see what the camera's like in daily performance. A lot of shots do turn out great, but the one concern is over sharpening, which definitely is visible and a bit of an annoyance here. Besides that, photos are natural and quite beautiful. .4K video recording turns out quite good, with very natural overall results, but the main issue here is the lack of optical image stabilization, so shots do turn out quite shaky, and they're also recorded in H.265, so compatibility concerns are definitely here with these video recordings. Okay, so in summary, this is really a great overall device. The design is just beautiful, it's gorgeous, the performance is quite stellar, the cameras are pretty good, the software is a bit weak in my opinion, but that is just personal preference. But the main thing you have to actually decide here is if it's going to be this phone or the OnePlus 5. The OnePlus 5 is available pretty much everywhere, it's a bit cheaper than this phone, and also has a bit better specifications as well. The decision is obviously up to you, but if you do choose this phone, you're getting a great overall package and a beautiful package at that. That's it for this video. Like it if you liked it, and thank you for watching. Okay, Google, tell me a joke. I apologize for triggering all your phones in advance. Sorry.
Laugh. How do robots eat guacamole?
How?
With computer chips.
That was hilarious.